Back at CES 2017, we got our first look at the Corsair Concept Slate, a theoretical spiritual successor to the big, bold, and beautiful 900D. Fast forward to today, and we somehow got one of the only 2 prototypes in existence here in the lab. What are we gonna do with it? Well, how about a balls to the wall 18-core workstation? Woo! Yeah! Wait. The producers are telling me that it will also have a second rig in it for gaming. This is madness. But you know what isn't madness? TunnelBear. TunnelBear makes it easy to privately and securely browse a more open internet. To try TunnelBear for free, go to tunnelbear.com/LTT. To give you an idea of how big this case is, the box that it came in is big enough for me to comfortably fit inside. And hey, when you're this big, there's a lot to talk about, so let's jump right into an overview of the Slate. Anyway, it features nearly 360-degree tempered glass coverage, save for the angular top brushed aluminum accents. Both of the side panels rock strong hinges with magnetic catches, and they open like suicide doors for what I'm assuming is extra style points. Now, most hinged side panels actually do open this way, but there's something extra special feeling about these ones, maybe thanks to their sheer girth and weight. Each air intake comes with what are likely the largest slide-in air filters of any case ever, though I guess that comes with the territory. Then moving on to the inside, there's mounting for a whole heck of a lot of hardware. And since we have a lot more to cover in this video, we're gonna do this in lightning round fashion here. In no particular order, the Slate has mounting for 2 motherboards, 5 GPUs, 8 SSDs, 5 hard drives, 13 fans, 2 quadruple 120mm radiators, a triple 140mm radiators, 2 power supplies, and probably a dog or 3. And believe it or not, we're planning to make use of all of that space with full custom hardline water cooling. First, some planning though. Yes, we plan. Let's talk about our parts list and do a dry fit to ensure A, that everything is working, and B, that it will actually all go in there. So the final system is gonna be kind of a mullet. Business, so that's like content creation, 3D rendering, etc., in the front, and then party, that's gaming, in the back. The ultimate best of both worlds within a single tower. Though, like a mullet, it clearly won't be for everyone. Let's start with the content creation rig. In typical LTT fashion, it's the best of the best. Intel's flagship 18-core 7980XE might not be a great value for like Adobe Premiere, but it does allow for the virtualization of 4 quad-core systems with 2 cores left over to run the hypervisor, and for 3D rendering in Blender, it absolutely slays. In the same spirit of overkill, how about 4 quadros with a serious amount of motherboard to accommodate them all? ASUS's Rampage 6 Extreme was up to the task with all the PCI Express slots that we, or pretty much anyone, could ever need. Triple M.2 slots for some rated 480 gig NVMe goodness, 10 gig networking, and lots of RGB. Actually, our planning is set to white for the color scheme we have planned, so haha, take that 2017. To feed those 18 cores with sweet bits and bytes, Corsair somehow managed to get us 128 gigs of their Vengeance RGB. It's entirely possible that we are single-handedly causing the continuation of the global DRAM shortage, so sorry about that. And then as for a GPU, choosing one was a bit of a challenge. A challenge in the sense that convincing Alex to let us disassemble the 16K gaming machine that he's been using as a SolidWorks workstation since then was a challenge. Not in the sense that we actually had a ton of quadros lying around to choose from. So these 4 P5000s, they don't really match our color scheme, but they conveniently support EK's universal 1080 water block, so that is going to be fixed by the next video. Each GPU here has a cool 16 gigs of VRAM and 2,560 CUDA cores. For our power supply, we went with the Corsair AX1500i. It's one of the only units on the market that can handle everything in this system. Then we added some sexy white, gray, and blue cables from CableMod. On to our ITX gaming rig. This one is a whole other ballgame. Instead of focusing on quantity, like say cores or GPUs, it's all about quality. Now, the Core i7-7700K isn't technically Intel's top consumer CPU right now, but with a little bit of overclocking, we aren't really making any compromises here, because we're still talking about 22 processing cores in a single box. The GPU was an easy choice here. We went for NVIDIA's GTX 1080 Ti, which should handle gaming all the way up to 4K resolution with relative ease. And then we actually managed to get two more 16 gig DIMMs of Corsair's Vengeance RGB DDR4, bringing our case total to a whopping 160 gigabytes of RAM. All of that fits neatly into ASUS's Z270i, which shares a similar monochrome aesthetic with our Rampage board, and of course has even more RGB, which again we're probably not going to use. And then this rig has to slum it with a single 480 gig MP500 NVMe SSD for the OS and any important programs or games. Finally, it gets powered by Corsair's SF600 power supply, which also gets the same CableMod treatment to stay consistent with the rest of the build. While we're around the back here, let's talk storage. Each one of our systems will get its own triple 480 gig SATA SSD RAID 5 array for super fast but not as fast as NVMe storage. Then, for mass storage, the main workstation system has an additional 3 12 terabyte Seagate Ironwolf Pro drives that could actually be set up as a NAS for both rigs with virtualization. Actually, it could probably serve the rest of the house too if you're into that sort of thing. Even with, though, all this incredibly OP hardware, the Slate still looks almost empty. So hopefully water cooling components and lighting will fill it up a little bit more in part 2. But before we get to that, we want to show you guys some baseline air-cooled numbers for our rig. As expected, we're looking at pretty good temperatures on the main system with Noctua's NHD15 on a 7980XE, and then unsurprising GPU thermals for cards that are installed this close together. Our gaming system was a completely different story though. Since we could only fit a Noctua L9i in the space available, temperatures on our 7700K were basically pegged at 100 degrees, even with the absurd 30 to 50% throttling we encountered. Definitely no thanks to the massive airflow restrictions in the form of the 4 Quadros and the 1080 Ti. Hopefully though, we'll be able to do a little bit better than both of them with a couple of D5 pumps and some thick radiators. But again, you'll have to stay tuned for part 2 for that. Speaking of part 2, have you ever had one of your devices and it's in 2 parts and you want to put them back together? Wow, that was painful. iFixit has got the tools for you, not to mention the guides. iFixit is all about helping people repair and upgrade their devices, and their iconic black and blue ProTech toolkit is now only $59.95. It's got their 64-bit driver kit, a wide variety of opening tools, spudgers, and picks so you can safely poke and pry, their suction cup that makes it easy to remove display assemblies, and their own rubber-handled Jimmy Pry tool, along with ESD-safe tweezers, metal spudgers, an ESD safety strap, and a lifetime warranty. So go check it out over at ifixit.com/Linus and get your own fully loaded ProTech toolkit for just $60. Honestly, it costs less than paying someone to repair your device once, and you can use it forever. So thanks for watching, guys. If this video sucked, you know what to do. But if it was awesome, get subscribed, hit that like button, or maybe, get subscribed. Oh wow, there's someone put a custom thing in here. Something, water-cooled beast, something. Oh yeah, buy a t-shirt down below.